Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey, and today we're doing mock draft again. We did running back rankings this week, so we're going to try a draft here where we go running back heavy. At the very least, we'll go first two picks, go running back. Most likely, if you're going to go running back heavy, you go running back, then try to pick up your receivers in the third, starting in the third. But we'll see who's available, I guess, when we get to the third round and whether or not we really want to push this running back heavy draft strategy. Last week we did quarterbacks, which is kind of not getting a quarterback early isn't really what we like to do. So those I don't know, those teams weren't necessarily what I'd like to draft. I don't know about you, Jeff. That wasn't my favorite. I would say avoid that strategy.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely improve on the team that we drafted, to say the least. It turned out okay, but I think we left a lot on the table.
Running back heavy is kind of what we've always liked to do, even though, I don't know, this year it feels like running back wide receiver doing something like that is almost a better way to do it. I don't know. I don't know how it can play out. I haven't done enough mock drafts yet and gone really running back heavy to find out. I guess we'll find out here, in 30 seconds we start? Jeff, you have pick number 3?
Yep, I have number 3, and Craig will be picking at the end of the line at number 10.
So we're using Fantasy Football Calculator for this one. Last week we did ESPN, so we'll see the difference. This one might move a lot quicker. I don't believe we really don't have a starting roster we're throwing this into, and there's only 15 rounds, so we kind of plan it as like a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex kind of lineup as we go here and see. And we're doing a standard scoring. This is going to be standard scoring, which is still kind of preferred, and boom, that's how quickly this draft goes. Christian McCaffrey goes, Saquon Barkley goes number 1 or number 2. I'm good with that order. Now put you at number 3, and yeah, I would say normally you'd probably be thinking Zeke, but are you
right? And exactly. So I would do Zeke, but with where he is right now, you're not exactly sure if he's going to, go to camp, if he's going to hold out, what is he going to do? You have to go for the other top guys there. I can't burn it on a chance at number 1. So Alvin Kamara is there. That's a no-brainer as well. So I'm going to go ahead and draft him. I have a great running back that catches and runs the ball.
Yeah, that's right now, if you're drafting now before Zeke's situation's cleared up, it's hard to pick him. I mean, Gordon's more impossible because Gordon's just not as good as Zeke. He really isn't. He's good. He's always very good. He's just not Zeke. But I have a hard time drafting Zeke right now, even though I just did it in a league like a week ago. I don't know if I regret that. I think he'll play. I think it's going to all work itself out. But
at what spot did you draft him?
It was number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
I picked him over McCaffrey.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I feel okay about it. I wouldn't have done that. But at the same time, I think that it's highly probable that he will report. I mean, yep. I think you got to say above 90%. I don't think Dallas is dumb enough.
It was right at the beginning of that kind of talk about it, which I didn't really think it was serious, and it feels more serious now. So kind of a little scary. So Zeke did go number 4 in this draft. David Johnson went number 5. So this means, these people we're just following a running back heavy strategy here. Everyone is. No wide receivers yet. This is kind of where I feel like a DeAndre Hopkins typically would go, is number 6. Sometimes he would go ahead of David Johnson, but I mean, David Johnson's been moving up draft boards. People are thinking he's going to turn it back around to 2016 David Johnson, which I'm sure is possible, but I'm not sure if I completely buy it yet.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, I'm totally okay if that is the next guy off the board. Melvin Gordon is holding out. I mean, even Zeke is, currently holding out. I mean, I trust him more than I trust a lot of these other guys. And he was a top 10 running back, even with last year's just, crap show going on. So I think that is fine. But you can make an argument for a few other guys or go wide receiver if you wanted to.
And actually, Devontae Adams went number 6 here. So Adams went ahead of Hopkins in this draft, which I mean, I've seen from time to time.
Yeah, and I think that they're very, very similar. I think those guys will be number 1 and 2, but I don't really care which one you take. And then after him, Le'Veon Bell, which is a very interesting player. People have high hopes for him, but I think 7 is a completely fine place to take him. But I don't know. I mean, Joe Mixon, James Conner is still out there. Would you rather take one of those guys than Le'Veon, or are you going for the upside there?
I'd rather take Bell than Connor, I believe. Mixon and Bell are close for me. They're really. I'd probably go Bell. I'd still probably go Bell.
I'd go upside.
A little more upside, a little bit more. Oh,
All
here
right.
we go. I'm up on the clock. So DeAndre Hopkins went after Bell. Michael Thomas went after Bell. I'm going to pick in a second. Also, we didn't mention in the beginning. I would say quick something about the relegation league. If you guys want to get on the relegation league or get a spot in there, we're still putting teams. So since we re-announced we were opening it up the other day, we've gotten 50 more signups. So shoot, Jeff, we're up at like over 260 teams now.
I absolutely love it. I've wanted this for so long.
So
and now to see everyone else is getting really excited about it, I'm thrilled.
If you want to get in the relegation league, go to our Instagram page at instagram.com/fantasy football profit. You'll find out how to join on that, and you'll be able to get in. And we actually have 5 drafts already starting this weekend, this Sunday. First 5 drafts of the relegation league, which is going to be interesting to see how Zeke falls in this draft. That's going to be an interesting one. So we'll have 5 of them to find out. So, all right, my first pick, I'm at 10. So it's only a 10-team league. So I go 10, then I get the next pick. So I picked Joe Mixon to round out the first round there. I like Mixon. I think he's pretty solid, pretty safe, I think. I think he's going to be, relatively speaking, I think he's pretty safe. And then I'm going to turn around and get.
Yep, I thought.
So a lot of people are going to pick James Conner there. But no, I'm not. I'm picking Todd Gurley. If I get Todd Gurley in the second, I feel great about that. Joe Mixon, Todd Gurley, I really like that combo. I think I'm going to be in really good shape. Now, the interesting part, though, is going to be what your second running back will look like. I think it's a lot easier to do running back in the later half of the first.
Oh, without a doubt. You kind of have your pick of the litter, if you will. There's plenty of people that you're willing to take. The problem becomes there might be very, very good wide receivers left, even though Julio Jones and Odell just went. Coming back to me, I have 2 more people in front of me. I still have. Well, actually, no. It'll be okay. All the major players as far as wide receivers went, except for Evans and Antonio Brown. The way I look at it, both of them could go off the board, but then Chubb is still available. Yeah.
Dalvin Cook, Nick Chubb. If you wanted to do the Melvin Gordon thing, he's there. Damian Williams.
Yeah, maybe I could do. We'll see how this plays out, but it's quite possible that I could get Chubb and then maybe Melvin Gordon on the way back, go running back heavy 3 in a row. I'd be willing to take them the 3rd round.
The 3rd's where you'd be willing to go with Melvin right now.
Right now, he does worry me far more than Zeke, but at the same time, in the 3rd, it's starting to become too good of value to not pick him up.
The way this is falling, I think it's going to be better. It's going to be the best value for you to go running back and then another running back. I have a feeling. The way it looks like this is falling, you're going to have to if you're going to get running back here, and then I think so. You get Chubb, Cook going to go. I think Mike Evans is going to go maybe. If like Damian Williams lasts to you, you have 3 more picks before you pick again. No, there goes Damian Williams. So you pick Chubb, Dalvin Cook went, Damian Williams went. I think Damian Williams would have been a good pick if he lasted. Oh, there goes Gordon. So Mike Evans didn't make it, or didn't get picked. So maybe you pick Mike Evans here. That's your number 1 wide receiver. That's not a bad.
No, that's actually, it worked out wonderfully. And if Evans had gone, or for whatever reason, like if Kelsey didn't get picked on the turn, Marlon Mack was staring me in the face, and Aaron Jones. So those would have been good running backs, but I already took 2. Gotta go Mike Evans. So too good of a wide receiver not to.
If you can go running back, you get Alvin Kamara and Nick Chubb, and if you can get your number 1 receiver to be Mike Evans, that's a good little pairing there.
I'm feeling very good about that. It'll be interesting now to see who gets back around to you, because I think obviously
I like your spot a lot better already than what mine's going to turn out to be.
Kamara and Chubb are great, do not get me wrong. But Mixon and Gurley, depending on what happens with Gurley, if he's still a top 5, even though his rushes go down, they're going to be very comparable, because Mixon is going to be incredibly he's going to be the anchor of that running back team. And Todd Gurley is going to be the dangerous one from week to week because of the touchdown upside. So I think you're maybe a little more risky, but I really love it.
I don't know if I like going running back at like the turn at the end of the first, because these wide receivers that make it back to you aren't great. They're okay, but they're not. Ah, man, I don't know if I like it. So you picked Evans, Derrick Henry went, Marlon Mack, Aaron Jones, Leonard Fournette, T.Y. Hilton, Pat Mahomes went. So I'm up. I got 2 picks. I will make a wide receiver pick here. I'll make one of them for sure. And that, I think I'm going to pick Keenan Allen here. I think out of the wide receivers left, he's the one that I feel most comfortable with, I would say, to be my wide receiver 1. So I'll take Keenan Allen. It's not a bad wide receiver 1. I would have liked a little bit better, but I guess I think I'm going to get good production from him as a first wide receiver.
Yeah, he's very, very solid. And he was the best available, right? And at that point,
now it's like, what do you do here? Do I go with another? You know what? I'm going to go running back heavy. I am going to do this. I'll have 3 of my first 4 picks be running backs.
Are you going to go Devontae Freeman or Kerryon Johnson?
I'm going to go Kerryon Johnson.
I like it.
So he'll be my flex. So I got Joe Mixon, Todd Gurley, Kerryon Johnson at running back, and Keenan Allen at wide receiver. Yeah, it's, for some reason, I don't know what it is. It's like I have this mental block in my head of Keenan Allen being my wide receiver 1, and I don't love it. But I don't know why. I think he should be perfectly fine. There shouldn't be a reason I don't like that. Just something about it. I like Mike Evans a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I think Mike Evans definitely has the edge on him when it comes to touchdowns. Keenan Allen once again, he's a very safe player, but he does come with a little more question mark just because how much is Mike Williams going to steal from him? Blah blah blah. So right now I like mine, but it's hard not to like Joe Mixon, Todd Gurley, Kerryon Johnson, Keenan Allen. When you have those 4, you have plenty of safe players, and you have the upside of Todd Gurley. And Kerryon Johnson could still become a primetime running back. I mean, without a doubt. He showed flashes in his first year. He got hurt, but obviously people are still very high on him for what he was able to do.
So after I picked Kerryon, Devontae Freeman was picked, Josh Jacobs, Adam Thielen, Mark Ingram, George Kittle, Amari Cooper. Now you're up.
Okay, so the unfortunate thing, Ingram went. I thought maybe I could get him in the 4th round.
That's actually earlier than I've been seeing him.
Yeah, so
I feel like
he was
me personally, I think the talent left right here to go with, it just feels like it's Diggs to me. Unless you want to go like Ertz route.
Nope, you're 100% correct. I am going to go Stephon Diggs. I would have went Ingram, but I think I'm going to go Diggs here. I get 2 very good wide receivers, and then on the way back, I can grab a Phillip Lindsay, or I'll see who else is there.
If Ertz were to make it back in the 5th, that's not a bad pick.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad either.
It'd really round out your roster, especially in this league. 2 running backs. We're only starting 2 receivers, so you got your 2. Then you get a tight end, then you find a flex in them. We'll see. But they're win Ertz, so you don't have to worry about it. Off the board. Somebody else is thinking that. So I don't know. I think Phillip Lindsay's a mistake, personally.
I know you do, but if you look at the other running backs available,
I know what you mean. Out of what's available,
it's a tough one.
I just
so
don't know.
Right now, for the people listening, the people at running back, you can either go David Montgomery, Phillip Lindsay, Chris Carson, Sony Michel, Kenyon Drake, Tevin Coleman. Those would be the guys that are kind of like the guaranteed starters. Those are the ones left. I think all of them have question marks. And I think Phillip Lindsay, even though slight of frame, some people, cough, cough, Craig like Freeman, I still think Phillip Lindsay is probably the safest player.
Oh, you didn't like that? You didn't like that tweet I sent you earlier? Broncos are feeling really good about Royce Freeman right now, to the point that they're hoping to finally establish the true split touch situation that they envisioned.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Phillip Lindsay last season.
And you got me talking, and
it's fully on track for 2019.
Yeah, and I believe that about 20%. And you got me talking, and then I took Chris Carson on accident. But
That's a better pick.
Either way, Chris Carson is fine. They're kind of similar anyway. And who knows? Maybe I saved myself from myself. Yeah,
I feel like they're in very similar situations. They're actually very good running backs. I think if there wasn't anybody even near them, we would just be like, of course, these guys are top 15 easy. But there is people there, and they're both second-year running backs who didn't quite do enough, but they weren't like we've talked about. We've talked about both Lindsey or both Freeman and Penny, and Penny especially. His numbers were pretty solid, but we just don't know how it's going to play out. I actually think with Carson, I think Penny can get quite a bit of a workload, but I don't think it'll actually. I think Carson will still get. I think they're both going to be viable. And same thing with Lindsey and Freeman. 100%. I really think both are going to be viable.
I mean, really for the most part, I think Chris Carson and Penny are obviously in a better running offense. You saw that by the yard per average. I believe both of them were in the high fours. Philip Lindsay was out of this world, right? He was above 5 as far as yards per rush, but that's where Freeman, maybe he was just a rookie. Maybe he wasn't fully into it. But that's where he didn't look very special. But I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to use both because, when you have a 5'10", a smaller running back in Philip Lindsay, you're not going to give him carte blanche to just run around. You're going to try to protect both of your running backs.
So I hate this spot in the draft.
Yeah, okay, I dislike Robert Woods is fine, and that's who Craig just took.
But this is what I'm looking at. This is the second time this has happened to me with Robert Woods. I've got Robert Woods in this the same spot, and I don't love it, and I don't know what to do because I'm just looking around. And, I actually like Mike Williams a lot right here, but how can I don't think I can pair Mike Williams with Keenan Allen. I don't think that seems like a good move.
I mean, you say that, but and not comparing. This isn't what they are. But if you started Antonio Brown and Juju last year, you would have been totally fine.
I know.
I understand that.
It's just.
I understand because
like that yet. It doesn't feel like that, but
it does kind of help you as far as creating a little bit of cushion as far as injury goes, because usually only one go down at a time. That's obviously no stats behind that whatsoever. But if you're just unlucky, I guess. But if one goes down, that means the other one's going to get the lion's share. So it actually does help a little bit. But on bye weeks and things of that nature, then obviously. But that's only one game per.
I decided to go Robert Woods and Chris Godwin. Don't love it, but I think they'll be productive enough. But that's,
Here's a question. The other wide receivers on the board, Mike Williams, Cooper Kupp, Boyd, DJ Moore, Alshon Jeffrey. I know that you like DJ Moore, but where do you stand on Cooper Kupp? Because he is someone that I really like, but you took Godwin over him. Is it the injury?
Somewhat. I keep finding myself not being able to buy into Cooper Kupp. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
I want to, and I just quite. But I think it's partially injury, though. I mean, we're not sure what he's going to be yet, 100%, and I don't want to take that risk right now. Not when there's a lot of guys similar. That's really. And I went Woods and Godwin. I almost think I would have rather gone Ridley and Williams.
And because of that, I'm actually going to go Mike Williams on this one.
I like that.
Yeah, and
Tyler Boyd, I don't know. Tyler Boyd's interesting to me too. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he has top end potential. Not with but I think Chris Godwin might. Calvin Ridley does. Mike Williams does. I don't think Tyler Boyd does.
Yeah, I mean I agree with you. Boyd, he put up fine numbers. He was pretty good, but I think with all the other circumstances around him, the fact that AJ did get hurt, but he should be back for the year. That means he goes, relegated back to the number 2 spot in that offense. How much of a ceiling can you actually have? Mm-hmm. So not the fact that you're bad, but I do think that he comes with kind of a lower ceiling. I just have a hard time getting excited about him in this spot where you could go and get a Mike Williams. I'd much rather have. So
you're on the clock again. I'll give you a quick rundown of the 6. We didn't really talk about it much. So I picked Godwin. Then Tevin Coleman went off the board. Calvin Ridley, Aaron Rodgers, Kenyon Drake, Tyler Boyd, Evan Ingram. Jeff picked Mike Williams. Deshaun Watson went off the board. Then Cooper Kupp. Darius Geis goes at the beginning of the 7th. O.J. Howard. Jeff's on the clock. And this is where you start just getting, basically, you might get a quarterback at some point, but you don't have to. And either way, I just go for talent.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait on.
I think talented.
I'm gonna wait on quarterback, but I'm gonna go Hunter Henry. I haven't been able to get him in a lot of leagues yet. And I absolutely love the kid. So I think this is the perfect spot where I don't think there's anyone else kind of near his talent level. And even with the injury concerns, even though they weren't at all connected, I think this is where I can go upside, and that's Hunter Henry for sure.
So you pick Henry, DJ Moore goes, Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry. 3 more picks.
I was looking at the names of everyone.
Yeah, the one who's just picking right now. Yeah,
it's after an anatomy part. So that individual took Elshon Jeffrey, and then Eric Ebron went, and now JJ is about to pick right before Craig.
Oh, I hate this.
Are you eyeing anyone at the moment?
No, I'm looking at the board and thinking I hate all these players. They all suck.
In that way, are you going to go? You're going to probably wait on tight end, I assume, since the main ones are off the board, unless you really want to lock down Njoku or something. But I think you can probably wait on him.
I'm going to wait. All right, so I'm looking at the top of the board, and I'm going with none of it. I'm going to go down further. I don't want Lamar Miller. I don't really want Tariq Cohen, not in a standard scoring. Robbie Anderson, James White, not in standard.
I bet I know who you're going to pick.
I don't think you do.
I'm going to go. I would say my guess would be Christian Kirk.
No.
All right.
I thought about it though. So this is where I'm going. I'm going with Allen Robinson. I've become an Allen Robinson guy.
No, I have no issue with that.
I think part of this is people are always like, okay, Allen Robinson, he was a bust with Chicago last year, right? Only 55 catches, 754 yards.
He was hurt.
This is year 1 after an ACL injury. I'm telling you, people just don't come back from that quickly. It takes a bit. You're going to come back slow. You're not going to be perfect. Not everyone's Adrian Peterson. It just comes back, as an amazing player. It just doesn't happen. And Allen Robinson's still young. He's still a young player. He has time. He's 25 years old. That's it.
And Craig is.
So this is where I'm going to take a shot. And, I pick Miles Sanders here. So I don't necessarily want to go spend and get Josh Jacobs or David Montgomery where they're going. But this is something I was actually looking at the other day. I was looking at our past draft from last year. And some of these young running backs again that just went for, it was an auction draft, but they went for cheap. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, why didn't I just load up on some of these guys? And a couple of them turn out to be anything. So last year you could have gotten, in our auction, you could have got these guys for nothing. You could have got Aaron Jones, Marlon Mack, Sony Michel, I guess. You could, Kerryon Johnson in a lot of leagues. All these guys, you could have loaded up on that. Been in pretty good shape. So I think I'm going to get myself at least 1 or 2 young running backs and hope it works out. So I guess I did that in this draft with Kerryon and Miles Sanders and hope they take the leap. Because that's not some groundbreaking strategy trying to get young running backs, but for me, I haven't done it enough. You know what I mean? I've always wanted the proven guys. I think I need to go more for a little bit of upside later. I don't want to risk it early, but later on, if you can load up on some young players, young talent, I think that's just the way to go. I'm done of the days that I'm going to draft. I guess I really didn't much, but I'm not going to pick Jordan Howard here. I'm not going to pick later on Deshaun Jackson. I'm going to bring his name up a million times. There's no point to pick those guys. There isn't. I just can't. I can't pick the veteran later in the draft anymore. Let's see here. You're up on the clock again. So after I pick Sanders, Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller went right after I picked Sanders. Does that interest you, Jeff?
I mean, it's a fine way to pad your running backs, but actually, I'm surprised. Latavius Murray went a little ahead of schedule. He is someone that I would have been very interested in the 8th round. I think that would have been a good pick. There is not a whole lot here, though.
I got
even to the point where I really don't want to get a running back, to be honest.
I got 2 players I'm hoping come back to me, and I will pick them both.
And I'm going to go with another wide receiver that I really like. I'm going to go Christian Kirk.
Don't pick that. Come on.
I was going to say who I thought Craig was going to take in one of his 2. So Christian Kirk, that helps me out. I feel bad because I know we went running back heavy, and I went 3 of the first 5, but at the same time I still only have 3. But if I look at running back now,
but that's if you go running back heavy early. You have to load up with these guys later. So this is kind of how it works.
Yeah, I just don't like where they're at. I mean, you can go James White, you can go Henderson, assuming that Gurley is gonna, miss time. Jordan Howard, Kareem Hunt, who won't play in the first 8 games. Royce Freeman, which I personally don't like. I mean, there's not a whole lot here that I like.
I think that running back strategy for you was absolutely perfect for what your team is right now, for what your team turned out. That's the perfect strategy. It wasn't like you didn't. I think that's what you would have picked anyway if you weren't even planning on doing it the way it turned out. I mean, very, very true. So I didn't really have to change strategy. And honestly, I might have done that. I don't know if I would have done different than Mix and Gurley either. I just don't necessarily maybe like how it turns out later on in the third, but probably would have done the same.
I'm not overly happy about this one, but I feel really good where I'm at for a wide receiver. So I'm going to try to go depth as far as running back, and I'm going to grab James White. Just seeing who else is down there's not a lot. I don't think he is going to be as involved as he was last year, but I think he's someone I could use, and I think he'll still catch quite a few balls. So even though we're not in a PPR technically, I think that is just a safe play, and I'm okay with passing up some of the other guys. So that will help my running back depth.
So some of the picks, then you pick Kirk. After you pick Kirk, Will Fuller went off the board. Then 2 quarterbacks, Drew Brees and Kyler Murray. Kyler's really been jumping up draft boards. He's going 1 pick behind Brees. He's getting up there now. He
went before Russell Wilson, Cam Newton.
Goff.
I mean, I guess those would be the 2.
He's been going up boards quite a bit, and it kind of worries me. I liked him as a later on guy. Now you're actually having to draft him. He's a starting quarterback. I mean, on this team they picked 2 quarterbacks, but he's a starting quarterback on where he's starting to go in drafts almost. Which maybe it's a lot of risk involved, but
it is in the 9th round. I mean, a little bit. Obviously, it'd be great if he fell a little bit further, but I think
it's not bad. I guess.
If you really want to take a stab at a guy, then the 9th pick. I mean, I took James White.
True.
At that point, you're kind of like, you're taking a risk either way.
Oh man, Royce Freeman went off the board.
Stu did you a favor.
Oh man, that was gonna be perfect. I'm very disappointed in that. Now I don't know where to go here. I was looking to go Royce Freeman, David Njoku. That was my hope here.
Yeah. Well, you can still go Njoku, right?
I'm still going to get Njoku if he lasts this one more pick. And there was Kareem Hunt. I don't see any reason to draft Kareem Hunt in the 9th round. That is way too many games to miss to draft him in the 9th.
No, I'll be completely honest. I do not understand drafting him at all unless you have
You would have
IR
been the only
spots
one
or
to
something
draft
like
him
that.
here. If anybody with having Nick Chubb, you would have been
right.
the only one to actually have a reason to do it.
But I don't even want to keep him on my bench for that long.
No, especially with a shorter bench. This is a league that we're in. This is a 15 round. This is a short bench. This isn't the league to do it.
No.
So Dante Pettis just went. So I'll be up. I will pick Njoku. I do think he's going to have a big year. And then I got a lot of question marks here on what to do. So pick Ronald Jones.
I mean, you could take the risk. I mean, we did go over and we were talking about how many touches running backs got, and it was pretty startling how many Peyton Barber got and did nothing with. So if Ronald Jones gets quite a few of those,
I'm going to take him.
I think that is fine for a risk.
These young guys and just maybe it works out. Because you know what? Honestly, my second option right there would have been Sammy Watkins, which I think I'm off the Sammy Watkins bandwagon officially. So this means this is where he'll become good. But I think I'm done. I'm done with Sammy Watkins, Jeff, officially.
Yeah, well, I mean, welcome to the club. As soon as Tyreek came back, he, obviously took a giant hit.
But I mean, now they're going to completely write him off. Maybe he'll do something, but I can't do it anymore. Maybe if he lasted to me in the 11th, maybe I'll put him on my team as my 5th.
And also, I know that we hate how you hear all this stuff, all the talk in the preseason, and the Sammy Watkins just went in the 10th. But the one thing I do listen for is more of like the if they say something about someone that's been around for a while, like, oh, he's in the best shape of his life or something, you take it with a grain of salt. But usually they talk up a lot of these young guys. But if someone came out and said, oh, Sammy Watkins looks different this year, like he's really, put in the effort to blah, 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 change his diet, then maybe I would start thinking about it, because that he's productive when he's out there. It's just always been injuries. So maybe I would start listening to the chatter then, but you don't hear anything about him. Just leads me to believe that it's going to be same old, same old.
I mean, you haven't heard, I haven't heard anything about him. So,
No, not a word.
So, and hey, at this point, yeah, he has to do it before I buy it. So I would pick him. There's spots I would pick him on my team. There really is. But it just has dropped quite a bit. It really has. So you're up. You looking at quarterback yet here? So Russell Wilson just went.
I mean, I could go
down there.
I could go Cam, but I'm actually going to go one more running back. I'm going to go AP. We talk about him in the 10th. Once again, there's no risk whatsoever. I'm about to come back up, and if Cam is there, I'll take him. If not, I'll probably wait in quarterback. But AP was very good. I don't know where Geis is with his injury, really. I don't know if he's going to be 100% right off the gate. So I think AP is paired with James White gives me a giant cushion.
Yeah, Peterson is it's a hard one to read, right?
I mean, who knows? Very, obviously an older back, but he had over 1,000 yards last year. Not the yards per average that you want to see, but he was very respectable. Finished as a top 20 back. Geis should be back, but you never really know. All right, so it did make it around to me. Cam Newton's there. Tell you the truth, I'm going to check who else is actually out there, because I think he's too good to pass up, but there's plenty of guys lower than them that I wouldn't mind taking in this situation as well.
Peyton Barber.
Yeah, right. And it would definitely be, I mean,
an undraftable guy.
Yeah, I like Cortland Sutton, but yeah, I think Cam Newton is the one. I too good to pass up at this point. So I got him in the 11th. And
Jacksonville defense, that's a terrible pick. This early Sterling Shepard, Cortland Sutton goes off the board. There's 3 more before I'm up. Yeah. Not in love with these players that are here. You know what? I got one. I got one guy I like here. See if he lasts. Can't say it. If I say it, he'll get picked. No. All right. So I got 2 picks here. Here we go, Jeff. Tell me what you think about this pick.
Corey Davis.
I'm back in.
Oh, my God. I mean, I love Corey Davis. I really do. I just don't think that he can do it on that team. I think that team is set up for him to fail. But, hey, he showed something last year. He made some sort of an impact, even though, Mariota less than desirable in the numbers he put up as a quarterback. But who knows? He is a very good talent. So why not? In the 11th, why not?
I think I'm telling you, I think that I think there's big things coming. I know people probably think I'm crazy right now. Royce Freeman, Corey Davis, talking what's going on, but no, I'm buying it. I think this is the year. So I don't know what it is. I think he's just that talented. He really is. I guess the whole thing is it's just you. I know you don't believe Marcus Mariota can create a fantasy star in Corey Davis, and it's all Mariota. If you put Corey Davis, if you had put him on that Rams team, I mean, what would he look like? If you put him on the Chiefs, how good would this guy be? Those kind of teams.
Oh, truly, I think that he is a very special wide receiver.
So I picked Jared Goff as my quarterback here. Hey, I think what's not to like about him in a way, I've been coming around on it too, is that offense is great. Why not have a quarterback in a great offense? They run the ball, yeah, but they throw it quite a bit too. They throw to the running backs. I think he's going to be a good. He was what? I can't remember where he finished last year, but it was top 10 last year, 7th, something like that. So I'm feeling pretty good about Jared Goff. So you're up on the clock. Ooh, Deshaun Jackson just went. I know you wanted that one.
Woof.
I'm sorry. We do this a lot to Deshaun Jackson. It's just, man. He's the most unreliable fantasy player in the entire world.
He's an older wide receiver. Don't get caught. I know he was very exciting a decade ago.
So LaShawn McCoy went a couple picks before you too. I mean, I'm completely staying away, even in the 12th. I don't know. Can't do it. So you pick James Washington. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the hope in the 12th round. Once again, there's no risk whatsoever.
Still not buying the Moncrief talk, huh?
Nah, I'm still not. Even if
All
he
right.
does win the spot, I feel like Moncrief will get injured or something.
So after you pick Washington, Jameis went Baltimore D. So here we're actually in the 13th. So there's 15 rounds. So we have to, in the last 3, we have to pick a kicker, defense, and 1 more position player. So that's where we're at right now.
Yep. And for me, I'm going to go ahead, and this is where I do this a lot, but in the last 3 rounds, I usually go kicker, defense, and then pick the last guy. So I went with the KC kicker. You know he's going to get a lot of points.
Yeah,
and then
that's a good one.
I think kickers are easier to predict than defenses. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but at the same time, defenses go earlier than that, and I never understand why. But Chicago's gone, Jacksonville, Rams, Chargers, Baltimore were all gone by the time it got to me. I can get one next round, and I'm perfectly happy with, let's see here, who was left. I mean, really, you just pick one. Houston is there, Denver's there, Dallas, Philly. You'll be fine with any of those guys.
So I got 2 picks here. I'll pick Zerline. You know, same kind of thing. Get
Yep.
a kicker on a good team. And so I got one. I'm gonna get a position player here. My one final position player. So I'm gonna look here. I got 4 running backs. I currently have 5 receivers, tight end, quarterback.
I want one player, and I hope you're not gonna pick him.
Oh, I probably won't. I probably won't find him in time. I'm doing this real quick, trying to see who I could possibly. You know what? It probably won't be one you like. So I have just a feeling LaShawn McCoy is going to completely just fall off. So I'm going to pick Devin Singletary, the rookie. 14th round. Take a shot at a rookie running back that might maybe do something. Probably not, but you never know.
Yeah, I like that pick. I truly do. It's fine if you have to throw him back and use him as a waiver drop. But I think that Singletary has all the upside in the world. And when you have aging backs like McCoy and Gore in front of you, you're going to get your chance to shine.
All right, so we're moving on here. Final 2 rounds. Whoever's picking after me is taking too long. So what are you looking at here then? You got defense, but who's the position player you're thinking of? Surprisingly
enough, this is one of the few times that I'm actually going to go 2 QBs.
Okay.
And because I have Cam Newton, you just have to plan for it. It doesn't mean you have to draft someone here. But I'm really, really interested in Lamar Jackson and what he's able to bring to the table. I already have 1 running QB. I'm going to throw Lamar on there. And if for whatever reason they actually run as much as they say they're going to, very highly unlikely. But if they do, then, I mean, it could be quite possible that I'm actually using Lamar Jackson instead of Cam Newton versus some defenses.
All right, so you pick Lamar. Then we have the 15th. We're just going to pick defenses. Who really cares, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually going to pick a defense first just because I think.
Then he'll stay. So
yeah, he'll stay. I mean if he doesn't.
We did running back heavy here. And you know what? Honestly, it worked out great for you. It really did. I think you got Kamara, you got Chubb, and then you got your wide receivers yet were Evans and Diggs. I love that. That to me is like a perfect start right there. It's hard.
I also love the fact.
Yeah, hard to get
so
that.
I have Evans and Diggs, very good wide receivers, but the fact that the guys underneath them are Mike Williams and Christian Kirk with the upside, that's what I'm really excited about. And then I did get Lamar Jackson for my final pick. So yeah, very, very good. And, James White, Adrian Peterson on the 9th and 10th definitely does. That's not, inspiring by any means, but that is kind of what I need to do in order to get my running backs in a place where I have a little more depth. But besides for that, I love every other pick. Those ones were more necessity, but the fact that I have Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, James Washington, take a flyer on him. Yeah, I'm very happy with where this ended up.
Just wait till next week when we do zero running back and go wide receiver. Ugh.
That'll be interesting.
So I say, even before we do that one next week, I pretty much think right now, I mean, I don't think I've learned really anything on this, but maybe I used to be really steadfast that you have to go running back. I just don't think that's the case anymore. Even though it worked right now, I think it's just all about getting the best talent there. And if that's running back receiver, great. If it's running back, great. If it's wide receiver, great. Do that too. I think there's enough. I think those players there's enough good wide receivers, enough good running backs to just kind of pick the best of them, when you first do it there. When you get those first 2 rounds. I don't think you need to keep yourself to any kind of strategy. I think it just handcuffs people if you're actually stuck to a strategy.
Yeah, I do have a question for you though, because you're lukewarm on your team. Obviously it worked out pretty well, but you had to pick a lot of guys you weren't, thrilled about. But you're in the 10th spot. You have to pick one after another. So would you have changed it?
No, I don't think I would have. I still think Mixon and Gurley are what I would have gone there. I know a lot. Maybe. Man, I just like Gurley that much. Where I think those two it's a really good combo. But maybe then I should have gone. No, I'm trying to look who would have been there for me in the 3rd, and there just wasn't the running backs I would have liked anyway. They went so much in the 3rd there. So even if I went, let's say, Mixon Odell or Mixon Julio, Mixon Juju, one of those, when it came back around to me at the end of the 3rd, my second running back is going to be like Mark Ingram, Kerryon Johnson. I don't want that as my second.
Right.
So I think I had to go running back there. It's just Keenan Allen happens to be the one that lasted to me. I don't know if I love that.
Would you have changed your Robert Woods pick? Even though, obviously he was very, very productive.
The only maybe
Chris Godwin. One of them. You picked them in tandem, obviously.
I don't think I would change the Robert Woods one, honestly. I think I rank Robert Woods ahead of Godwin, Ridley, Williams, Boyd, all those guys. I rank him ahead of them right now. So I don't think I changed that. Maybe I really liked Mike Williams there. Maybe I shouldn't have let Keenan Allen bother me to have both of them. I don't know how that really plays out. Maybe I should have just gone with it and just said talent trumps situation. Talent just overrides anything. I just think about who is going to score more points per week and not worry about what team he plays for. It's a hard thing to do though.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I don't really know how it works. I don't know if I'll dig into that a little more.
I do not see a place where I would have really changed, even though you feel a little handcuffed being at the turn.
Yeah,
sometimes it's great because people drop to you, but I don't see what I would have done that differently. And in fact,
even at the last round, the later rounds are just whatever. But early on, it's just I hate getting stuck with that Robert Woods pick. But there's people listening. I know there's a lot of listeners, and there's people that will see this on wherever. They like the Robert Woods pick. They think it's a value in the 5th. There are people out there that believe that. And I'm not even saying they're wrong, but
I think in the 5th, I think it's fine. But
I think it is too. But
when you took Keenan Allen as number 1, you're kind of hoping to have that, I don't know. It feels weird pairing them together.
I would have hoped more like, because Galladay went in the 5th too. I would have hoped Galladay or Cooks were the one to fall to me in the 5th. That's what I would have hoped for.
Right.
They didn't quite get there. That's what I would have rather had, is one of those two guys.
Actually, here's a good one. Tyler Lockett went right before you took Robert Woods and Chris Godwin. He is a very interesting player as well. Would you have taken him over one of those?
Probably over Woods. Yes. I think I picked him over. I think I would have picked Lockett then Woods then. I think I would have picked those two my picks. Yep. Yeah, I like Lockett. I don't dislike Lockett. I did put him on. If people's on Instagram, they're wondering, okay, you just put him on your bust candidate list, which is fine. I'm not calling him a bust. I just think there's potential there. He had he had a low catch. Low catches with a lot of yards and touchdowns. It sometimes isn't sustainable. But then again, he should be the number 1 there. So, everything could go up, but I like Lockett. I think he's fine. I wouldn't have loved that though. I don't love it. I don't love those wide receiver group. I like Allen Robinson better, almost. I feel more confident in Allen Robinson who I got in the 7th. As weird as that might seem. I don't know. Something about it. It doesn't feel right to me. I don't know what it is. Something doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
it's hard to put a.
And we say that a lot. I mean, Keenan Allen is a fine number 1, but at the same time, you're always hoping like, oh, if Keenan Allen was my number 2, you always want to take that. But I think you did the best what you could in a snake draft. But that's also why you try this stuff out. You find out who is going where, because already we're finding out that it's shifting a bit.
Yep.
This one was incredibly running back heavy. We were already trying to go running back heavy. Kind of worked against us
a lot. Maybe because it was a standard league. This shows the difference. We've done a lot of like PPR. Some of the other ones we did were PPR. This is standard. Maybe that's just the difference right there.
I mean, standard. And it should be, honestly. I agree with everyone that went running back heavy with us.
That's probably part of it. So, but all right, I think that's going to do it. Next week we'll be talking wide receivers. I might have a surprise at number 1, Jeff.
Okay.
We'll see. You have to tune in next week to find out, because if I do, it's not yet on my rankings page. So we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing there. Talk to you guys next week.